Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Happy Monday. Man, it's your boy Derrick Casey coming to you live from Dallas, Texas with a late night special. You know what I'm saying? Mondays are my busy days, man. I got work. Me and my wife are in a program with our church called Reengage. So when I get home from work, we get ready for that and we sit down with our community group and we just kind of go over things to help strengthen our marriage spiritually and biblically. So it's something that's really cool. But I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about something because I had it on my mind and my heart, and I'm just pulling this up real quick. There we go. Cool. So I want to come on here. It's something a little bit different tonight. Okay, something a little bit different tonight. Because usually, I talk about business, making money, helping you with your financial situation. But I had a message for you guys tonight. Okay, so my message to you guys tonight is about your spouses. And what I'm telling the title of this is, what I'm saying, what do you do when your spouse doesn't support you? Okay, what do you do when your spouse doesn't support you? And I get this question quite a bit from people that hit my inbox. They are excited about becoming an entrepreneur. They're reaching for new goals. They have these new visions. They're super excited, um, but their spouse is not quite on board. So a lot of times that cause a lot of discouragement in your spouse and causes them not to really push for their goals. Now, as the spouse, the girlfriend, the wife, the husband, the boyfriend, whatever the case, it is your job to be able to support your spouse. You may not see their vision right away, okay? We totally understand it. It may sound silly to you. It may sound like it doesn't work. But the thing is that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So stop holding your spouse back from reaching for things that they are truly passionate about. Okay? That never step in your way. Listen, everyone has people who just don't see their vision. People who bring negativity from their friends, family, co-workers, they hear it all the time. The last person that they should worry about not supporting them, not encouraging them and pushing them to be great is their spouse. That's the last person. We got to stop keeping our spouses in a cage and playing it safe all the time, okay? Because we all know that we'll never achieve anything within our comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? I've been through that. When I decided to become an entrepreneur, it was because I wanted something better. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of slaving at a job, working hours, and still being broke. And being able to look at my wife and see how frustrated she was with our financial situation. But with my job, I was limited to what I could do. I can only work the hours that the job told me I could work. I could only take off the days they approved me for. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there was no way for me to elevate or take my family to a whole new level just by focusing on the job alone. And that's when I started to really start pushing forward and looking for things because I knew that working a second job was just out of the question. I'm like, I don't want to go and work more hours. I work enough hours at this job. How do I create an additional income so that way we can overcome this hump in our financial situation, right? And at first, when I got started, my wife, she was not on board with me. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't on board. And a lot of people ask, well, Derrick, how'd you push through? Well, here's the thing, guys. When you have a vision and something that you are truly excited about, something that you're truly passionate about, sometimes you have to go against the grain. Okay? Your spouse may tell you that it don't work, they're not supporting you, whatever the case, but you have to go against the grain. Because once again, you will miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So if you always base everything that you do based on your spouse and what other people are saying, you know, you're never going to get anywhere. And you're going to live a life of resentment because when you had the opportunity, you allowed people and gave them the power to discourage you not to go towards your vision, to not keep pushing and being consistent and staying strong in those moments. One thing that I learned is that in those times, and me and my wife butted heads a lot, on my journeys to trying to figure out, other ways of making money. And she didn't want me investing. It was She didn't want me doing the time, spending too much time doing it. When I was doing Facebook Live, she didn't understand while I was doing a whole bunch of lives. She really didn't understand it. But then I had to look at my role that I was playing in it because I didn't give my wife a chance to understand what I was doing because I just felt like after getting that negative energy, that negative vibe from her, I didn't even want to pull that forward. So I started trying to just do things by myself. And when you start doing that in your relationship, that causes a divide because now your spouse feels like you're not incorporating them. So why would they want to support you if you don't incorporate them? Okay. So here's some tips for you to help you out. When you are on your journey, when you're excited about something, you need to take the time to sit your spouse down and talk to them seriously. Not in passing, not, hey, I'm doing this, but talk to them about your vision. I think that a lot of times when spouses don't support your endeavor, your dreams, your goals, and things like that, guys, it's because it's the lack of communication. It's the lack of communication. And you're already kind of setting the expectation in your mind that your spouse is not going to support you without actually sitting down and speaking with them. Sometimes, guys, just by doing that, you will be surprised what your spouse, may say, how they may react to what you want to do. You will be surprised. You will be surprised by just sitting down. And I learned that because my wife even told me, she was like, I didn't know what you were doing. I didn't understand any of the stuff that you were doing. So it was hard for me to get into what you were doing. And then when I heard about that, I was like, man, that's crazy because I just set that expectation in my mind. Like, I'm just going to do it. I don't feel like dealing with her negativity and things and trying to talk me out of it. I just want to go for it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do it. And I pushed my wife to the side and I went for my business. Now, that was a selfish thing on my part because if you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage, you guys are a team. You guys are a team. So if I'm over here doing my own thing and I push my spouse over here, how do I expect her to want to support me? I'm not giving her a chance. I'm already in my mind planning the fact that she's going to talk down to me or she's not going to agree with me or to support me. So I'm already pushing her to the side. So if I'm pushing her to the side, why would she want to support me? And that's what a lot of you guys do. You got this expectation in your mind that your spouse, you already know your spouse ain't going to support you. They're going to be saying all of these things. So it kind of creates this fear and this anticipation that I just don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to go for what I'm excited about. And when you start doing things on your own, when you're in a relationship and in a marriage and you're not communicating with your spouse, that puts a wedge in your relationship. It puts a wedge in your relationship. Me and my wife bump heads, man. Me and my wife bump heads. And when I felt like she wasn't supporting me, I was like, it wasn't because I wasn't looking at my role that I was playing in it. And I think that you guys have to look at that. Listen, you can sit down with your spouse and just be real with them. Talk to them. Tell them about what's on your mind, what you're excited about, and what you're doing. Show them the game plan. Because if you sit down and you help them understand what you're doing and they have a better understanding, your spouse will support you. They may not fully see your vision. They may not fully agree with what you're doing, but if you communicate with your spouse and you tell them, hey, I'm really excited about this and I really need your support. Like, this is what I'm going to have to be doing so that way I can build. This is the reason why I'm doing this because I've seen the value and I feel like this is going to help our family get out of this situation. And I'm just asking for your support. You don't have to fully believe me. Just be there with me by my side and rock out, right? Let them know that you need them. Let your spouse know, like, hey, I'm going on this journey, but I need you by my side. Show that support. Communicate that to them so that way now they can really feel where you're coming from. They're like, okay, you know what? Let me see what they got going on. That's how you build that power couple mentality. It doesn't matter what your spouse wants to do as long as it's legal. As long as it's legal, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be something to help your family grow. It doesn't matter. Encourage them. Encourage them. Even if you don't fully see the vision, even if you one of those people that need to see results first and all this stuff, support them. Support them. Stop keeping your spouse in a cage. Let them get out. Let them spread their wings because you never know where that's going to take you. You never know where it's going to take you. That's just being real. That's just being real. I get people all the time, man, I want to get in the business, but my wife, she don't believe in it. Hey, I want to get in the business. My husband don't believe in this network marketing thing. I get people like, Derrick, how do you push through? I had to. When I learned to communicate with my wife and I sat down and we finally, like, instead of bumping heads and actually sat down and talked, and I explained to her, why I felt so strongly about what I was doing. And, she really had a full understanding because at first she didn't. She just saw me investing money and spending time on Facebook, and the money wasn't matching up to all the work that I was putting in. So it made it even harder for her to believe because she wasn't seeing the results from all the time that I was spending doing it. You know what I'm saying? So like it was hard for her to believe, but I didn't communicate with her. I didn't let her know, like, hey, I got to build my brand. I got to take time to build trust with people. Like, this is part of building a business, and how I'm going to be successful, and how I'm going to get us out of this financial rut. I didn't explain that to her. So she was on the outside looking in. But once we sat down and I got a chance to really talk with her and tell her why I was so passionate, man, the best feeling in the world is when you actually sit down with your spouse and you talk to them and you share with them what's on your mind. And they're like, okay, now I understand it. I'm going to support you. Like, that's the best feeling in the world. I could give a damn about anybody else in the world supporting me. You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about nobody else's opinion. But the woman that I said I do to, the woman that I love with all my heart, that's the one person that could really break me down, because that's the one person that, like, me and her are the same. We are one. So if my other half ain't rocking with me, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. But boy, when you get your spouse on the same page and they're encouraging you, and now y'all talking the same language, and she coming up with ideas to help you build your business, and then she got things that she got going on. So like, I'm like, hey, how could I, support you? Like, that's the type of relationship that you need, man. You can't be in a relationship where one person is over here, another person over here, trying to do two separate things, and it ends up clashing. You gotta come together. You gotta come together. You gotta support each other, even if you do not see their vision right now. Even if you don't see the results and you don't have faith that this could work, you still need to humble yourself and encourage your spouse to push forward. Because there's one thing that I know. If you hold your spouse back and come to find out it was something that was real and they could have been locked in and been going, and you're still stuck in the same situation because you stopped your spouse, that is going to build a resentment for life. However, on the flip side of things, if you encourage your spouse and you say, hey, listen, I'm right here with you. I totally don't understand what you're doing, but I see that you're truly passionate and you have a game plan, and I'm going to stick by your side and I'm going to support you and help you. Anything that you need, and you do that, and they go out there and they open up the doors, they start just taking your life to a whole new level. You would never be mad that you allowed your spouse to spread their wings and fly. This shit just get me pumped up, man, because me and my wife were just talking about it. And she was just like so grateful. Like, she came to me and she's like, I just see how passionate you are about what you do. She was like, man, I want to be able to help. Like, she was like helping me in my business, like times behind the scenes. She was talking about my business with people I didn't even know. But it's because I took the time to sit down with my wife and really explain to her, talk about things that happened in the past, what I learned from those things, and what I'm doing different now. So that way she didn't feel like she was put on the back burner or she was out of the loop on what I was doing. I incorporate my wife. Anything that I achieve, I sit down with my wife and I tell her, and she's super excited about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you guys, I just wanted to come on here and share that with y'all because I think that a lot of people struggle in that department. I get a lot of people that ask me questions, how do I stay focused? And the first thing I'll tell you guys is stop what you're doing, sit down with your spouse and communicate with your spouse. Communicate with your spouse. Let them in. Don't push them away because you anticipate that they're going to do something or say something or whatever the case. Let them in and give them a chance to support you. Give them a chance to say, whatever it is that they're feeling at that moment when you're sharing it. Okay. Give them a chance. And if they don't support you, just let them know, hey, listen, just give me some time. You know what I'm saying? Give me a little bit of time. Let me rock this out because maybe your spouse don't see it, but they need to see results. So let them know, hey, listen, okay, just let me work my business. Let me do what I'm doing. And if this don't work in this amount of time, hey, I'll let it go. I mean, it's the lack of communication, guys. Talk with your spouse. Bring them in. Let them know what you're doing. Show them your game plan and why you're so excited and passionate. And I promise you, it'll change everything for you. But to all the people out there, the spouses that don't believe in what they're doing, the entrepreneurship guys, I am encouraging you. Stop holding your spouse back. Stop holding them back because you never know that what you're stopping them from could be detrimental to your financial future, to your marriage, your relationship. Let them go get it. And if it's wrong because at least you went out there and they gave it a shot. I could live with the fact of trying something and it don't work rather than not trying at all and then come to find out that could have been the one thing that could have taken our life to a whole new level. All right. So I just wanted to come on here and share that with y'all, man, because like it was just on my mind and on my heart. Like I said, it was just different than talking about like just business and things like that. It's just a message, man, for people who are in relationships that's struggling with starting a business with a spouse that truly don't support them. And just asking you questions: are you communicating with your spouse? Are you letting your spouse in? Are you sharing your ideas with them in a way that they can understand it, right? And giving them a chance to respond. Give them a chance to respond. Don't create scenarios in your mind thinking you know what they're going to say. Let them respond. And then from that point, then you respond to that, and then you get to work. You get to work. All right? So I really hope this message is something that really hit home for you guys. If you got any questions or whatever the case, you can always message me on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever the case. I would love to connect with you. At the top of this video, let me get the right hand up. Boom. There go my phone number right there, guys. Shoot me a text. Shoot me a text. I love connecting with new people. Like my thing is that real recognize real. And anything that I ever put in these videos and I talk about is things that I've experienced, things that I've seen. This ain't nothing I've read on Google or whatever the case, man. But I'm really at a point to where like people are tired of chasing after these people that show they doing good and all of this stuff, but really behind the scenes they're not. They want to connect with real wholesome people. And when you connect with Derrick Casey, you're connecting with a real wholesome person. I'm not gonna bullshit you on nothing. I still work my job and I'm still cool with it. I still build my business, but guess what? I'm successful in both. And I take pride in being able to build people up and help people along the way and get them to the point where they need to go. You just got to be willing to be coachable. You got to be willing to put in the work. I can promise you this. If you gave me 90 days of your time, 90 days, undivided attention, no excuses, I guarantee you, I can get you as close to 6 figures or more as you can. Now, you may not believe me. Oh, you still in an apartment. How you going to teach me? Trust me. I've been in this industry for quite some time. My name rang bells because of who I am as a person, how I love helping people. That's what it is for me. At the end of the day, behind the scenes, I've helped so many people from other different businesses, hopping on calls, just sharing knowledge, helping them get through those tough times as an entrepreneur with no monetary gain. I ain't charge nobody for that. I didn't say, oh, come pay me for a training. because I love doing it. I love being able to get on the phone with somebody that may be struggling in whatever business and talk to them about how to overcome objections, how to stay excited in your business when you ain't getting to sign up in sales. I love doing that. That's what I live for. That's like my purpose. Because when somebody walk away from a call and they feel good about themselves and they decided to stay in the game, that's worth more than any kind of money can bring me. That's worth way much more than money can bring me. I'm not worried about none of that. Because God gonna bless me. So I just focus on blessing other people. Because when you put that energy out, that's the energy you get back. And I'm starting to learn that more and more and more every single day. How can I serve somebody else? How can I bless somebody else? What kind of knowledge can help this family out in time of need? That's what I do. So if you're tired of chasing after people, if you're tired of the whole fake it till you make it, broke on Tuesday, all this stuff, man, you just want a real person, real leaders that you can connect with that truly care about your well-being, your financial situation, come hit me up. The number right up top. All you gotta do is shoot me a text. Simple. If I don't answer right away, I got a busy day, but I will get back to you. Make sure you text me, leave me your name. I'm gonna hit you back up, whether it's through text or a phone call. I'm not scared to get on the call and talk to anybody. All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys to the fullest. I hope you guys had an amazing Monday. Time to lay my head down, get some rest. I got to be up early to go hit this job. Woo, right? Go to this job, but I know that it's only temporary. Countdown is on. So, y'all got any questions? Y'all already know what to do. I'm signing off.